It's Manchester United versus bottom of the league relegation fodder Wolverhampton Wanderers. Will Man United be a random surprise on Monday night, or will we get the job done in a professional manner? With every 2 steps forward, there are 2 steps back. If we don't see progression, how can we connect as a fan base and really get behind this team? Sam, this absolutely, categorically has to be a convincing win on Monday night, doesn't it?
It does, but is it going to be? I have my doubts because I think like a lot of the fan base have lost whatever little hope that little run did. I think I've lost. That's now gone from me. I'm back to where we were after the Brentford game. I think that's back where my mood is at.
I think we all established, didn't we, after the game when we did the review, me, you and Adam, we said as a collective, we didn't quite smell blood at the time when we needed to and go for the kill, and it was very pedestrian. Is that in your mind? Do you think that's a mentality thing, or do you think that's because we've seen quotes coming out from Diego Dalot about team not caring enough or doing this? Yeah. Like at this point, is it even acceptable to say that? Because we've heard this stuff before, haven't we?
I mean, we've heard it before, but maybe it's still true. Maybe it's not changed. Like we heard it from Shaw after the Europa League final, didn't we? He was saying, I don't think we've ever played that badly ever. I mean, Luke, if you're watching, we've seen it a lot under this regime. Yeah. So if it's a shock to you, then I don't know what to tell you. But I think mentality is definitely a thing because we seem fragile and weak, don't we? Like if we concede, it doesn't seem to happen for us. Like we have to score first and stand any chance of getting some out of the game. And even when we do score first, we still seem to concede and either getting a draw or winning by the barest of margins. So mentality is definitely a thing, but then like players not doing singular, regular jobs and making mistakes just seems to be a regular occurrence under this team. Just seems to happen every week. There seems to be a mistake or somebody doing something stupid. And on top of that, I think there's a depth in quality in terms of the squad. Like after that first 11, we don't really have anybody. So if some of that first 11 isn't available, we're kind of screwed. Like we don't really have anybody to fill the gaps, as it were.
But the most embarrassing thing for me, Sam, is the fact that you've not got any European football. So you've got a full week to prepare for a game, to put everything into it, and you've got an advantage on almost, especially the teams we've been playing recently, like Crystal Palace are in Europe. So you've got a bit of an advantage against them. And I think that's probably the reason why we ended up winning that game, to be fair, because they got a bit tired, didn't they, towards the second half. Now, obviously, when you come up against teams like Everton and West Ham, they're in the exact same situation as you. And it did seem in both of those games that both of the teams wanted it more. It just felt like that in the Everton game, you kind of knew, didn't you, in the first couple of minutes where that game was going to go. And that's way too telling for me. And I think, as well as a team, you have many individuals who, I think I've kind of put this conversation off too long about certain players. For me, I have to be honest, and this isn't, and I've given it enough sample size now. I think Cunha's been underwhelming. I think at Anfield he was really, really good.
Yep.
And he's had against Brighton, I think he was decent. Yep. But he's had 4 or 5 performances where he hasn't impacted the game at all. He scored 1 goal. Like, at what point do we sit down and have a conversation about it? Do you know what I mean?
I think there's a lot of players like that, though. Like, I think Mbumo had a fairly underwhelming start, and then he had a few games where he was our best player, got a couple of goals, a couple of assists, and then since then, he's dropped off as well, hasn't he? Like, he hasn't been at the races at all. Like, against Everton, like, he barely got on the ball, barely was thing. Against West Ham, same thing. Like his confidence seemed to have disappeared. Like instead of making those runs in behind and running at defenders, he would get the ball, turn, and then pass it back. And you're like, this is not Brian Mbumo. Like I've seen him play like for Brentford, and like he doesn't play like this. So he's been underwhelming. Bruno's had his moments where games he's dropped off and stuff like that. Lenny Yoro has had really bad games, like 2 games in a row. He was really poor. So it just seems to be an endemic in the team. Like no matter who it is, they just seem to get sucked under by this like negative malaise and mentality. Like it just seems to take everyone down. And it's hard to explain. It's really tough to explain.
Yeah, and that goes for the manager and players, right? Because I've seen obviously Ruben Amorim after the West Ham game in the post-match press conference, and he just looked kind of bewildered, like how this keeps happening, and there isn't something tangible that you can look at, or there isn't something you can hold on to say that is it. It's just like no one knows, do they?
No.
That's the biggest issue. No one knows how to sort this problem or why these things keep happening. Because for everything we hear and all the positivity, and all the good stuff behind the scenes with Wilcox and Omar and these guys, and it seems like they're getting their operations right and the recruitment's better, but the same patterns are still happening.
On the pitch, innit?
Yeah.
It's on the pitch. Everything else off the pitch, we seem to be going in a good direction.
Yeah.
Revamp Carrington, new data department, scouting, business, money, all that sort of stuff, new stadium. Everything seems to be going in the right direction. On the pitch, it's not advanced at all since Ineos came in. Like, it's just not moved anywhere, like, towards the positive, like, at all.
And again, we saw quotes from Wilcox coming out today. Apparently, he spoke to a couple of journalists after the Palace game, or it might have been the West Ham, I'm not sure. But he was saying to them, trust me, trust the process. Like, it's a long road, but we're going to get it done, and blah, blah, blah. But you can only trust in something truly when you see something that you can believe in, right?
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So I can't believe in, because I think the start of that 5-game run where you beat Liverpool, you beat Brighton, you pick up a couple of draws, you think, okay, right, here we go, there's a bit of a thingy now. But then everything resets, doesn't it, and goes back to square one as soon as you see those performances against Everton and West Ham, because there is no improvement on that. If you have truly improved as a team, you go and beat them convincingly. And you're talking now, we're level on points with Aston Villa, who people are calling in the title race now with Arsenal because they've just beaten them. Do you know what I mean? So, it's just for me, I really struggle, and I think we spoke about this in the chat, didn't we, to see where the future is under Amorim. I can't grab onto anything. I can't defend him anymore. Sometimes I have a lot of arguments with my mates because they're like, he's shit, and they made their mind up instantly. And I'm like, sometimes things take time and you've got to back a manager. But he's had enough time now, hasn't he, Sam? Be honest, if he loses this game now, on Monday, is that, it's got to be a conversation, surely, hasn't it?
I think there's probably conversations going on already, because that Everton performance is like, how you 10-man Everton who were doing nothing, like they were offering nothing once that and the card happened, 10 minutes into the game, 15 minutes or something. They were offering nothing. They were there to be beaten and resoundingly beaten, and with the quality we had on the pitch, we should have been putting them to the sword. Like, it should have happened, and we didn't do it. So that is a massive, massive worry. Crystal Palace, like you said, there's factors there, but yeah, good. We beat Palace. We got that off our back, because normally we don't do well at Palace. But then West Ham, one of the worst teams in the league. Like, I think maybe Wolves and maybe Burnley are the only teams probably worse than those two. Like, West Ham are terrible, like really terrible. And they were missing key players in like Somerville, Paqueta and stuff, like, so there's, again, no excuse at home, no excuse, and couldn't get the job done. So I'd imagine there's conversations happening already. I can't even imagine what's going to happen if he loses to Wolves on Monday. I can't imagine.
The media be right down his neck. Let's see what everyone else is saying in the chat, because we do have live viewers with us, of course. First time we've done a preview, actually, live, which is nice. Stephanie in the chat saying, big up Nick and Sam. Always appreciate your support, Steph. Nice to see you. Recognise real fancy seeing you here, Steph. 5-match batch target should be 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, bare minimum. Our last 5 games, 1 win, 1 loss, 3 draws. Yeah, no way near good enough. I'm feeling a little ropey, to be honest. Give him some very strong mushrooms as a Christmas present. Okay, fair enough. It's starting early.
It's probably better to do that and watch United at this point. So,
and then you might, if you're hallucinating, you might see something much better than what we see on the pitch. A win against Wolves changes nothing for me. That's from Chivy, and I'm with that mentality, to be honest with you. I think people are just tired and fed up, aren't they? At this point,
it's true. Like, we should win. But if he does win, it doesn't mean anything's fixed. It doesn't mean anything's solved.
No.
But you have to win this, because that's the only way to sort of move forward. You have to win. But if he does win, it doesn't mean, all right, we're back on the Amorim train. Like, it doesn't.
I know this is really sad, right? But the thing that's keeping me going whilst United are having these inconsistent performances is the fact that Liverpool cheap.
Fantastic.
That Mo Salah situation last night. Oh, mate, I was reading the quotes.
I didn't know I needed. I didn't know I needed that yesterday. I was like, I felt all right.
It was like a nice little surprise, wasn't it?
And then they were like, oh yeah, have this as well. And you're like, fantastic.
And the game in itself, the second half of that game was wild. It was crazy. So the fact that it's all going down there and they're looking like they're almost taking the media attention away a little bit at the minute with how kind of shit they're doing. So yeah, if there's any kind of silver lining, then it's the meltdown that Liverpool are currently having. But back to the pitch, Sam. Focusing a little bit more on individuals. Lisandro Martinez seemed to come on, get a little bit more kind of 10 minutes, I want to say, 10, 15 minutes. Showed a decent cameo. Should we expect to mix up at the back because of that, do you think? Or will he go the same?
Well, he drops Lenny Yoro, didn't he? Yes, West Ham put Aiden Heaven, who did not have a good game. Let's be honest. Like, he had a shocking game. I know. No, I'm not slagging him off completely. But like, he had a bad game. Got a yellow quite early on for a reckless tackle, and then just looked shaky for a while. So they ended up replacing him. Lenny Yoro had the world's longest warm up. I think he started warming up about 20 minutes into the game. It was still warming up at half time. So I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, he came on. So we've seen Lenny Yoro not have great games as well in the past. Could we move Luke Shaw out to left wing back and put Leacher in there? So yeah, we could see it. But again, I don't know where he's at in terms of his fitness because they've said they've got to manage his minutes. So I don't know like whether he's ready to start or maybe they give him half an hour on Monday and then they give him a half. I don't know where he's at in terms of his sort of rehab and his fitness.
I must admit, Sam, I do want to see Shaw, Lisandro, De Ligt, Yoro, Ahmad as a back five.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
That'd be interesting because maybe one of the reasons why Amrin doesn't want to take Shaw out of the back line is because he's quite good on the ball. He's left-footed, so it brings more balance. So maybe that's why with Lisandro coming back in now, I don't see any reason. I would, even if Shaw hasn't got the full-on legs to do it anymore as a wing-back, which may be the case, right? Yeah. I would much rather see 60 minutes, and Dallow's played all right the past couple of games, don't get it wrong, and Dorgu's been inconsistent as well, but I would still want to see Luke Shaw there for 60 minutes. If you need to push him back into the back line and, take Lisandro off or whatever, then do it. But I think you get the best out of your team by doing that because Shaw's he is better. He's better than Dallow. He's better than Dorgu. I know he has performances, but of late he's been all right. He's been performing pretty well,
and his fitness has been there this season so far. Like he hasn't got injured, which is an improvement over the last couple of seasons. And I think it's a less coward like Amorim. Like is that a lot of it's been spoke about his decision making and the substitutions. A lot of it is quite defensive and cowardly, in my opinion. Like, why are you not going for the kill? Why are you not trying to win
at Old Trafford against West Ham?
1-0, and it's 1-0. 1-0 is never a safe scoreline, like ever. I don't care who you are. So why are you not going for the kill? You're bringing on 5 defensive players. Like, why are you not shifting Shaw to wing back, bringing on Shea Lacey, bringing on Kobbie Mainoo, and going for it and trying to win?
Do you see he laughed at that, Sam, about the journalist?
Carl, our friend Carl Anker got bollocked, didn't he?
Oh, was that
the one? Yeah, it was Carl Anker.
Oh, I didn't know it was him who asked it about that.
Carl got there was a lot of sort of stuff online saying like Carl getting shit from Ruben Amorim. So.
I saw something about the Mainoo thing with Carl. I thought,
that as well. Yeah.
I thought that was because of an article that he put out, right, about Kobbie Mainoo.
Yeah, and he was obviously asking the question about the offensive player, and he went Kobbie Mainoo, and he was like, yeah, because you all like Kobbie, don't you? But it doesn't mean I have to pick him.
It did seem a bit bitey from the manager a little bit about the narrative around Kobbie Mainoo, but
he asked the question that he asked the question like, what offensive player is going to put on? And Kobbie Mainoo is an offensive player. Like he likes to go forward. He's a goal scorer. He's a goal threat. He makes things happen. Shea Lacey is an offensive player. Like and he's like, and to sort of counter like Amorim saying, I want to put internationals on and stuff like that. Well, you said in a previous press conference that Shea Lacey's ready to play.
Yeah.
That's why he's on the bench. So if he's ready to play, why are you not using him? And you go, no, I need internationals on there, but he's ready to play. So like, which is it?
It's weird. For me, I think the way I think about this is, so there's two sides to it. So in a game like Everton, for example, where we was 1-0 down and they had 10 men, there is no reason in my mind why you can't bring on Kobbie Mainoo or Shea Lacey or someone like that. There's no excuse in my opinion at all. And he didn't do it really until the last couple of minutes, which, let's be honest, you're not going to do anything if you've got no kind of rhythm. But from a tactical point of view and systematic point of view, the reason why Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes play, I'm not saying this to you because you already know it, but just to paint a picture. Casemiro is obviously the more defensive-sided one in that double pivot, right? He's the one who sits and protects, and Kobbie Mainoo can't do that. Nowhere near to the level that Casemiro does. It's not even close. Bruno Fernandes is the box-to-box, whose athleticism, I mean, I was looking at their heat maps the other day, and the comparison is just night and day, Kobbie Mainoo to Bruno Fernandes. He covers about 12k per game. Not to mention...
he's a metronome, innit? He just keeps
in himself, he's just like a fireball on the pitch. He's everywhere. And from a creative standpoint, he's much better than Kobbie Mainoo at creating chances. He's one of the best in the Premier League. So in that regard, I look at that situation isolated and I go, you can't put Kobbie in there. You can't in that. He needs to be in a midfield three. Mainly.
Yeah, of course he does.
That's where he's going to be best played. So to be honest, it's looking more and more like if it seems like Ineos are really trusting Amorim and backing him, they're going to go down the route of Mainoo might end up being sold, and they'll look at it as academy profit, which is sad.
To push back on that, if Mainoo is not an option tactically, is Ugarte when you're trying to win a game?
No, yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why is Ugarte the option? Like, when you're trying to win a game or you're trying to put your stamp on a game, you bring Ugarte on and you bring three defensive, three centre-back changes on. Like,
has he had a good cameo, Ugarte, in like, when was the last time he's come on the pitch and looked just decent?
It's been a while, hasn't it? Is it Liverpool? Did he play well against Liverpool?
But yeah, that was like, Amorim's been here at, a month or two or something? That was it, like his first couple of months, and then he's just gone off the ball.
No,
I think he's another one,
to be honest. This year, I meant when we beat Liverpool. Did he not play well?
I don't know. Did he start?
I think he started,
Anfield.
Did he? I think he started.
I can't remember, to be honest with you. But it's a handful, isn't it, what we're talking about? A handful of good games in total. And I think certainly United fans are validated in their opinions on the in-game management and subs that have been made by Amorim, absolutely. So let's see what happens in this Wolves game. Speaking of Wolves, Sam, they are the worst team in the league. They haven't won a single game. 2 points. They've scored 7 goals in total. No goals in the last 5 games, and 10 goals conceded in the last 5. Like, they are pants. They are astronomically shit. Do you think the Wolves will be genuinely looking at this Man United team and thinking they can get some points based off the past, like the Everton and the West Ham game?
100%. Like, if Everton can beat them with 10 men, and West Ham can hold you to the 1-1, they're definitely thinking we could do something here. Like, we could definitely do something. And I think they've got arguably a better forward than either Everton or West Ham have at this point in Strand Larson. Like, he's 100%. A better forward than, I'd say, Barry at Everton, and West Ham didn't really have a forward at the time, did they? Like, they have a striker, so I'd argue he's better. Obviously, you got João Gomez in there, who's a very sort of effective player in the midfield. But I was just sort of looking at stats and stuff like that. Their creativity is piss poor. Like,
I was just about to ask you that. Maybe that's why Strand Larson isn't performing as well as last season, because he was flying last season. He looked really good.
Oh, yeah. Well, Newcastle tried to buy him for 50
million, 60 million, I think it was.
But yeah, like, free kicks, goals, 0. Goals from inside the box, 6 out of 83 chances. Headed goals, just 1. Headed big chances per game, 0.8. Big chances missed per game, 0.9. Sort of missing more big chances than they have, which is not good. And then, average possession 47.6, which is obviously not great for us because we're worse when we have high possession. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to sort of put out. They've got 0 clean sheets, however, like us. So for a team that doesn't score, and then for a team like us who can see, like, is this going to be like a double 0-0 where it's like neither team is good enough to score a goal, but then neither defense is good enough to keep a goal out? It's an interesting sort of dynamic. The sort of 3rd lowest for duels 1 per game, 4th lowest for ground duels 1 per game, and then 7th lowest for aerial duels. Possession lost 129 times. So yeah, they are terrible. Like, by all of it, they are fucking terrible.
I was having a look at the squad before, and I was just like, I genuinely, I didn't recognise hardly any of them. I was like,
no.
really bang average championship level players. They've got a few bright sparks. You mentioned João Gomez there, and Strand Larsen are probably the biggest players, right, for him. And João Gomez for a bit seemed like a midfield target, which turned into like, oh, it's just speculation. But I do think the battle in the midfield could be mega on Monday night. Like Cass and Bruno, in a weird way, as much as we slag the midfield off, right now that's the best performing part of the team.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah. No, like the forward line's malfunctioning.
Backline mistakes.
Backline's just conceding consistently, and we all the talk about the midfield in the summer, which I still believe is
I agree.
Is correct.
Yeah.
Because when we lose Casemiro or Bruno, the whole team is even worse. So yeah, it's it seems to be the only sort of part of the team where you think, all right, they're actually going to try and they'll create something or do something. Like Casemiro's had a couple of opportunities to score. Bruno's had a couple of opportunities to score. Obviously involved in the 2 games at Crystal Palace with Xerxes and Mount. It seems like if something's going to happen, it's going to be one of them two that's involved, isn't it? Which is sad when you've got Brian Mbeumo, Cunha, Mason Mount,
Ahmad,
and all these other guys who you paid like what 300 million for if you add them all up, and none of them can get a goal.
Yeah. With that in mind, who were the ones to watch in this game for you, Sam?
I've watched Strand Larsen. He's a problem. He's a handful. He's a big lad. He's powerful. Yeah. He's quick. Yeah. He can score. Obviously, he's not scored. I don't think he's scored this season.
Scored one, I think.
Has he scored one?
Yeah.
Scored one, but you could just see it, can't he? He could get a couple against us. Like if our defense lets itself down, which Leviolos that had great games, Aiden Heavens that had good games. De Ligt, I don't know his injury status. I hope he's back.
I believe he is, from what I've read. I think he is.
Hope he's back because he's needed. Like he's our best defender.
Did that showcase that with Aiden Heaven playing there, how much De Ligt's needed in that back
Why
line?
Would you put like a young 18-year-old lad as a central centre back who's in charge of marshalling the other two of when to go? Like it's just
talk about being chucked in the deep end, isn't it? Fucking hell.
Like it's a baffling decision that. So I hope De Ligt's back because he provides a little bit of security. So maybe it might be able to shut down a Strand Larsen and keep him quiet. But yeah, Strand Larsen is definitely a problem. And then for United, it has to be Bruno, doesn't it? Like Bruno's the guy who's gonna go through. He's gonna create. There's a set piece. Hopefully he can get something out of it. Maybe a combination with Mason Mount or something. Because the rest of the forward line, like you touched on with Cunha, he's not performing well. Brian Mbeumo's been quiet. We haven't got Sesko. Mason Mount, he needs to be scoring way more than he is and creating more than he is. I think he works hard and he's good in team, but he needs to do more. Yeah. So you have to rely on sort of Bruno. I think he's the guy you got to look at, which is sad because we're in the same position we were 4 years ago. We're like, who's the guy who's going to create something? Bruno Fernandes. It's the same thing again.
Mate, judging by that first touch and finish from Dalot at West Ham, I'm going to go with him. We're fucking clutching at straws in a minute for goals. So, yeah, he seems like the most informed player at the minute, which is just, utter madness. And I agree with I think Strand Larsen or João Gomez, if Wolves are going to do anything, it'll probably be through those players. So they're the ones to look at. All right, let's get into our predicted 11s then. I think mine might be on the screen first. Yeah, mine's on the screen first. So we've got the same team pretty much. We expect De Ligt to come back into the team. I think Yoro, we both agree, he's had kind of decent form. Ahmad will start at wing back. Dalot will start on the left side because of his form just spoken about. Cass Bruno in the middle because he never changed that. But I've gone Xerxes in the middle, Cunha on the left, and Mbeumo on the right. And to be honest, it's not much like some kind of Da Vinci Code reasoning for it. It's just I feel like he might go more of a prominent number 9 rather than putting Cunha there. But who knows what happens? Talk me through yours, Sam. Similar, right?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I don't have Xerxes. I've gone Cunha and Mbeumo Mount just because I think Xerxes, as good as he is with link up and stuff like that, I think we need somebody who's willing to run at players in the box and cause a bit of issues. And I think Cunha is more willing to do that than Xerxes is. Mount works really hard and will sort of like graft and sort of get back. So I think that's an advantage in there. Obviously, Casemiro Bruno picks itself. Amad Yoro, De Ligt, I hope he's fit and I hope he's back because we need him. Shaw and then Dalot, like you said, Dalot's been in decent form the last couple of games, scored a goal. So let's keep that confidence going and keep him in the team because I think Dorgu's had not great things when I've seen him as of late. And I think we need to keep that Ahmad and Mbeumo in partnership is important and let's utilize it as long as we can because they will be gone by next week. So
yeah.
yeah.
Scary, isn't it, when you think about it like
Yeah.
that? God knows what we're going to do. With that being said, Sam, I will go straight off the bat with the score prediction, and I'm going 0-0.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. And anyone even tries questioning me on that, don't even fucking have it, mate, because this team is this team, and we know that by now. So,
Do you know what's sad? 0-0's probably a positive, isn't it, really? Do you know what I mean? Like,
is it that bad at the minute?
it is. That's how it feels. That's how I feel. Like, I feel shy.
If you can draw
honestly,
to West Ham, there's no reason why you can't draw to Wolves.
Yeah. I've gone worse. I think we lose 1-0.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think if that's the case, and this isn't knee-jerk, if we lose to Wolves, I think you should go. I do. You can't lose. Like, this Premier League's so open that I know we speak about it all the time. And
it's so annoying as well, isn't it? It's so annoying.
It's so open at the minute. Even though we drew to West Ham, right? Even if we win this game against Wolves, we will go up to 25 points, which is level with Chelsea, still again in fourth. Yeah. So not only had one chance against Everton to get into European places, the second chance against West Ham to get into European places. Now you've got third against Wolves. You've just got to beat the worst team in the league.
We've had 3 of the worst teams in this league, and we've failed to beat 2 of them so far. And we could potentially not beat this one as well. Like, it's unbelievable. If we got after this at Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth away,
right.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
which
might
we'll probably win.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
United.
In your head, you're like, oh, that's a tricky game. We don't do well against Bournemouth. But like you said, we might beat them. We beat Palace and we beat Brighton.
Yeah.
So we probably beat them, which means like that even reinforces my belief that we might lose this game.
Yeah.
Because I have no inkling of how this team is going to perform week in, week out anymore. I just don't know. I really don't know. Unless we're playing City or Liverpool, I imagine we show up. But everybody else, I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm curious to know everyone else's opinion. So everyone who's watching currently live right now, what genuine score prediction do you think is going to happen? Do you see us smashing them? Do you see it being a tight game, a 1-1? Or do you think we're going to lose this game? And if so, if we do lose this game, do you think Ruben Amorim should go? Is that the point that we're at in a minute? Because we have to. I'm sure that the aim for the start of the season would have been European football. Despite finishing 15th, if you spend 200 million quid in the market, you should be judged on that kind of parameter.
Also, like you said, with the way this league is, like, you'll
never have a better chance.
There's no reason why you can't get Champions League football. Like, there's no reason why you can't, because Chelsea, not consistent. Villa have just managed to put a run together recently. But beginning of the season, they weren't great. Liverpool are off it. City are off it. Even Arsenal lost yesterday.
City are back on it. I watched City past couple of games.
But they're inconsistent. Like, they conceded 4 against Leeds, was it? Was it Fulham?
Fulham. Yeah, they conceded 4.
Do you know what I mean?
They're still shaky at the back.
Yeah, they'll still concede goals, which means they're beatable. Like, you can beat City. Like, going forward, they're phenomenal. But at the back, they're wide open, so they can be beaten. Like, I just think, why can't we do this? Why can't we put a run together and just get something out of this? But I just don't believe in this team to do it. No, I don't.
No, and it's up to them, down to them to change our minds, right? Lucky Singh saying this: Mason Mount, Cunha, Dallo, fully more fit, 2-0. I think this can be a Grimsby. Not totally convinced we win this game. That's from Z Gold. We should win this and beat Bournemouth at home. I think Bournemouth's away though. Yeah. Oh no, it's at home. Yeah. You're correct. Yeah, sorry. Right. It's at home. So, but then again, we've been smashed by Bournemouth at home plenty of times.
4-0, 3-0. Yeah.
Yeah. Fully fit, Cunha, better one, Mason Mount, get the nod, and grind win. So, yeah, a couple of mixed kind of reports there. If you're watching this later on, again, still get your comments in because I'm curious to know people's opinion on this, if we're going to get the job done or if it's just going to be another sticky fixture. But we will be live tomorrow night for the game, pre-match and post-match as always. So please do come and join us as we build up with some early team news and give our reactions to the game. And I am praying to fucking God that we beat Wolves, because if we don't, I'm not quite sure if I can handle doing a review discussing how bottom of the league Wolves have just gained their first points against United. How fucking embarrassing would that be?
And scored their only other goal against us.
Just shit, innit? Proper shit. Yeah, let's see what happens. We might be back a little bit later on. We'll see what the news is saying. But if not, we're back Monday night. And yeah, me and Sam will see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you all. Subscribe to the channel.